Hello friends, welcome to our channel English Literature Education. My name is Alok Mishra and I am here with a new video. So this video is meant for the students of History of English Literature and for those who have requested me to do something on the best books to study the history of English literature. So I'm here with my collection of books, and in this video I'll be walking you through each of the books that I have selected to be your companion for your studies as well as for your curiosity. So there are the books that I'll be reviewing in this video, so keep watching it carefully, and the links to buy these books actually have been compiled in one article that I have published on English Literature Education website. You can go through it and you can choose your books, or you can get all the books, or you can get selected books that you want to get. I'll be telling you which books might be essential for graduate students and which of them might be essential for post-graduation and advanced students, and which of the book will be helpful for all of you. So do watch this. Before we get to the books of history of English literature, let us start with a book which is not actually of English literature, but it actually focuses on English society. This is a very essential book for the students of post-graduation level. However, the students of graduation level can surely skip this if they want. But let me tell you more about this book. This book, as you can see I'm holding in my hands, by G.M. Tribbilian, is a book based on the study of English society, and it covers 6th century from Chaucer to the Victorian period. By studying this book, you can get to know more about the English society, the traditions, the popular cultures, and also the popular literature. So this is the first book that I'll recommend for the serious readers. Remember the name? English Social History by G.M. Tribbilian. You can get this book on Amazon or any bookstores near you. And the second book on my list is Edward Albert's History of English Literature. So this book starts from the Old English period and it goes up to the mid-20th century. This book is very helpful for the students of graduation as well as post-graduation. The unique thing in this book is a timeline that goes very first at the chapters. So before you actually study anything in the chapter, you get to see a timeline, and this timeline will help you catch up with the major episodes as well as a major writer of any particular age you are studying. So this is the first book that I recommend for the study of history of English literature. The third book on my overall list is The History of English Literature by David Dyches. David Dyches is a very known author, and his book, A Critical History of English Literature, Volume 1, as you can see in my hands, is a very important book when it comes to the study of history of English literature. This book does not offer so much of intellectual commentary and so much of a scholarly jargon. You may see it. This book only focuses on the major happenings and major episodes, and this book will also help you score more marks in the NET examination. So this is a catch for the NET students. This book can be studied and understood comprehensively by the students of graduation level as well as post-graduation level, and if you are able that, that is also very good for you. But I will advise you, you have to go through this book thoroughly. You can't skip it. You can't skip pages. You can't skip chapters. So do remember, whenever you get this book, do study it at least once thoroughly, A to Z. The next book on my list is a very special book. This is by Michael Alexander. The book published by Palgrave, and the title of this book is A History of English Literature. Now, let me tell you the first thing about this book is the feel. When you study this book, you feel that you are not studying something of a higher level, but actually you are studying something of a very basic level. In fact, it feels like you are studying a textbook, and it actually feels nice. If I can scroll you through the pages of this book, you can see it. It feels like you are browsing through a school textbook. However, let's move to the content. The content of this book is very useful. It has been precisely prepared. It doesn't offer you so much of commentary, it offers you only the facts. This book might be a little costly, and this book might also not be easily available in the bookstores near you. However, you can get this online very easily. I will recommend this for the curious as well as serious students. Do you remember the name? A History of English Literature by Michael Alexander, published by Palgrave. The next book on my list is English Literature by Andrew Sanders. I found this book to be a very balanced book. This book will offer you critical insights as well as factual basics of the study of literature. Now let me tell you one thing. This book, published by Oxford, as you can see it in my hands, is very useful for the students of basic level, that is graduation, and advanced level, that is post-graduation, as well as students of the research level, that is PhD in India. So this book will offer you critical insights, the basic facts, as well as commentary, which is not scholarly, which is not underrated, that is, to be frank, honest, balanced, and will be helpful, insightful at times, as well as just average at times. So this is a useful book in my opinion and many of others. So you can get this book at any bookstores near you, and do get this book if you want to get into the study of history of English literature carefully. Do get this book by Andrew Sanders. Oh yes, I can guess that. Now the scholar of the students would be asking, hey look, where is the Kazami's history of English literature? Yeah, this is right here. I have written this book from the list so long because I just wanted to keep it in a secret. Now let me tell you, the secret of this book is this is meant for the scholar students. This is meant for the students who want to read commentary more than getting to the facts straight. Now, if you are studying, for example, Wordsworth, so the authors, Lewis and Kazami, will not tell you straight what kind of writings Wordsworth used to engage. They will tell you why Wordsworth wrote that, in what circumstances he might have written that, or what were the circumstances in the time in England that compelled Wordsworth to do something like that. Now tell me, is this book helpful, or is this book just a curiosity builder for a student of post-graduation? I might not judge it, but reading this book will make one thing ensure, that you will get to know the history of English literature in blacks and whites as well as in the various shades of grey. This book is very easily available. You can get it in any bookstores near you, or you can just go to the website that I have mentioned in the commentary section, and you can get this book from any place online. Let me ask you something. Have you studied a cynical or an acerbic history of English literature? Most of you will say no. We don't know something like that. However, if you have this book, or you have seen through this book with your any friend, with any of your professors, this book, A Short History of English Literature by Sir Ifor Evans, is actually a cynical history of English literature, because it poses different questions and it saves itself from answering those. It actually leaves the students or the readers who study this book to search for the answers that you will not find in this book. However, to sum it up, this book is not so useful, but a very interesting one that might be studied by the scholars, not actually by the students, by the scholars, and by those students who have studied English literature completely or thoroughly, or at least have an idea of what could have happened in this age or that age. So this is not entirely a useful book, but yeah, this is a very interesting book. So guys, let's slip into some rare books. So these books are published by Pelican, and these books say The Pelican Guide to English Literature. I find these books very useful, and the commentary is scholarly as well as, you can say, to a level of a certain higher degree. So these books have been recommended to me by my head of department in the Nalanda College, and I find these books very useful, not only for the students of post-graduation but also for the advanced level students. However, these books are not essential for the graduate level students, so they can skip this book. But for the post-graduation students who are living in Kolkata or who are living in Delhi, they can actually go to the old book markets and try their luck. If they find themselves lucky, they will certainly get these blessed secure books of history of English literature, and it will certainly change their perception about literature out and out. So do try your luck and try to find these books. And then the next book on the list is The Cambridge History of English Literature. So this is a balanced book like Andrew Sanders. However, this is certainly a little more than that. So I'll rate it a little higher than Andrew Sanders' book, and this is offering the basic facts. This is also offering the basic divisions as well as a little intellectual commentary, which will be helpful for the students in understanding not only literature but also how and whys of literature. So guys, this was my list of the books to study history of English literature, and I hope you have found this book, all these books on the list, to be useful to you. You can try your luck and you can get some of them, or you can get all of them if you are very curious, or you can just choose what you like and then you can get all those of your likings. And First of all, I will study more about particular books in some more videos to come if I find time. However, let me tell you that the debate that we had is coming very soon, and also my meetings and schedules with the intellectuals as well as the academicians who are the professors and literary scholars are also coming very soon. So keep watching this space. Thanks for watching the video. Goodbye. Take care.